Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Om Ganganapate Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sarvamangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Trambake Gauri नारायणी नमोस्तुते। श्री हनुमान जी महाराज की जय। धर्म की जय हो, अधर्म का नाश हो, प्राणियों में सद्भावना हो, विश्व का कल्याण हो। नमः पार्वती पते। हर हर महादेव हर। ओम। Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 24th of February 2025. I want to offer my Anantakoti Namaskara and prostrations to all the great sages in the past, present, and future, and to the one and undivided Supreme Parabrahma Bhagavan, Parameshwara, Parameshwari, with their blessings, with their anugraha. We are continuing our exposition on Vedanta, on Advait Vedanta. How beautiful, how fantastic is this blessing for us to move in this direction of realizing the Brahma Tattva, the Atma Tattva. What can be greater than that? What can be more joyful in life than the realization of the ultimate reality? So along those lines, please keep in mind that there are infinite number of ways of trying to explain these ideas. These ideas that are written in the Shastras by the great sages, there is no end to the way that they could be explained. They could be explained from thousands of perspectives. There's no doubt about that. What is of relevance is the realization, more than simply the quantity of information that is out there. There's a lot of information. It's good. We need that. There's no doubt. But the actual, real, direct application of the verses and ideas written by the Santa Parampara or the scriptures, or the commentaries, etc., what they have actually written in terms of its direct application is what is going to bring us to the realization of our own self. So the application happens inside the Antakarana. That's the only place it can happen. Antakarana is mind. Conscious mind, subconscious mind, the whole mental reality. That's the only place, that's the only thing we have any real purview over. Even physical body, all the processes are going on mostly automatically. We don't have control over that as such. Yeah, we have some voluntary control over the body, but a lot of it is just involuntary. We don't have direct control over how the kidney works or how the brain works or how the voice box works or anything like that. It's functioning in a pre-programmed way, in a preset manner. And yes, it needs to be healthy and all of that. That's all true. But what we have purview over is our manovritti. So let's take a look on this point to further understand the point that is being made in the Mandukya Upanishad about the Jagra Sapna Shushupti and the Turiyam that is talked about. Turiya Pad is the Brahma Tattva, Atma Tattva. To connect that, to open that thing further, to open that dimension, let's take a look at Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 55. Chapter 2, verse number 55 is Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Parthamanogatan Atmanevatman Atushtaha Sthita Pragnasta Dochyate. This is a direct application. This verse is the beginning of that, is the first answer that is given to Arjuna's question. Please describe the one who is absolutely balanced and steady and harmonious and all that. That's the Sthita Pragna. How does that person walk, talk? Why is this necessary? Because without this state, that Bhagavan Krishna is describing, without this Stitaprajna state, there's no chance of realizing the Atma. It doesn't matter. Sachin can talk about these scriptures for 1,000 years and others can talk for 10,000 years. So what? It doesn't mean any realization will be there. Actual realization of the Brahma Tattva is when these verses of the Gita, starting from verse 56, the whole Gita actually, but here we're talking about this block here, the answer to the question from verse 56 all the way to the end of the chapter 2, that comes inside, it gets established inside, and it is established inside by Sant Krupa. अभी Sant Krupa का meaning क्या है कि जितनी संत परंपरा हो गई, to see their lives, to see the way that they have taught, how they have lived this, and it could be so many people, even we know how they're living, or we'll take those qualities and bring them inside. That is like a model in front of us, that this person is like this. So let's say somebody wants to become a great physicist. So you can, Einstein is a great model, or Stephen Hawking is, you have some ideal has to be there. So we can say, Shankaracharya ji kitne mahan ho gaye. We want to be like that. Well, we can be like that. Why not? That's why they came. So whatever great people have done, their greatness, they become an adarsha. They become an ideal for us. And they are called Shreshta Purusha also. Purusha doesn't mean here male or female. It means the person. Person is Shreshta. Yad yad achariti Shreshtam. Bhagavad Gita mein likha hai. That the Shreshta mean those who are so evolved, they're setting the standard for the for the evolution of humanity. Yeah, of course there are tamasic people and egotistical dictators and all these horrible things are there also. That is also there for some purpose, and then that has to be dealt with. They are causing a lot of damage to themselves and to the humanity. Yeah, as much as good work is being done in the world, that much negative work is also being done in this sansar. Somebody's trying to make constructive developments in human civilization, and there's others who are only intent on their own ahankar and their ego-driven activity. That is the mixture of the sansar. It has been like that, it is like that, and it is going to be like that. That is why Brahma Vidya mein kya hai? Rise above this whole fluctuation of sansar. Karo sansar ki seva, as we have said, but do not get bothered by the fluctuation inside the sansar. Asanga shastrena dridena chitva. Asangatva, cut down that tree that Bhagavan Krishna is talking about in chapter 15. Cut it down with the axe of detachment. Asangatva. Again, asanga, the word in chapter 15 is asanga. Sanga and asanga. Asanga means what? कि आत्मा जो है, ब्रह्म तत्व जो है, हमारा जो ओरिजिनल स्वरूप है, right? Asanga means that tattva is unbound and not connected with anything in the Brahmand except the Parabrahma. Pind Brahmand se para nija atma. Pind is this physical body. Brahmand is the entire universe, galaxies and all that. Isse par hai wo. The Atma Tattva is, so when the Bhakta begins to realize, Bhakta Sadhak begins to open inside, then what happens? That there is no more, there's no more vritti kept in the sansar, only to the extent that it is necessary. It is the same repetition again and again and again. There's nothing new in it at all. Kuch bhi naya nahi hai isme. Doesn't matter how much technology develop. It's just a more sophisticated way of rolling in the same three gunas of Maya. That's all. Now we have all these technological developments, but they're tools. They're fantastic. But if we use them for evolution further, to help others, to help ourselves, to grow into higher consciousness, that's so beautiful. Kitni sundar baat hai. And if we use them just to enhance the entanglement into the three gunas of Maya, then we are going to drown further inside Maya. That is the blessing of technology. Technology is just technology. How is it being used? That is the question, right? So anyway, that's another whole area here. The point simply we're trying to make is about this verse number 55. Now let's take a look at this carefully. Why is this relevant? Because we want to be 100%, not 99%, not 99.5%, not 99.9%, 100%. अभी से ही निश्चय करना कि यही मैं हूं. मैं कौन हूं? Bhagavad Gita 2.55. Bring it inside and fix it inside. Once and for all. Don't move away from that. This is called Swarup Nishtha, Bhagavad Nishtha. भगवान के जो वचन है, गीता जी के जो वचन है, they are परम सत्य. इसके आगे कुछ किसी की भी ताकत नहीं है. Never, absolutely never. It is 100% correct. 100% as it is. तो भगवान क्या कहते हैं कि प्रजाहाति यदा कामान सर्वान पार्थ मनोगतान आत्मन्नेव आत्मनः तुष्टः स्थित प्रज्ञस्तदुच्यते. This is the verse. Let's look at it. प्रजाहाति यदा कामान. There are endless desires coming from the mind. इच्छाओं का कभी अंत आया नहीं. Doesn't matter how many desires get fulfilled, 100 new ones are going to pop up. That's the nature of desire. All right, fine. We understand that. What Bhagwan is saying here, that desires, when he says prajahati yadakan, prajahati means it's the relinquishing of that force of desire, ichha, that is constantly binding the individual into the experiences of the sansar. Now, remember, relinquishing desire means what? That it is a transformation of desire, so that the ichha shakti remains completely whole inside. So we do want different experiences in life. But the question is, can those experiences still occur without the leakage or disturbance to the ichha shakti? Because if this is understood as just don't do anything in life, kuch nahi karna, just chhod do sab desire, chhod do sab ichha, that's not its meaning, not in connection with all the other verses. The other verses also say that without raga and dvesha, interact with the world, interact with the entire world. We have to interact with the world. We don't have a choice. We have to go through the three avasthas, Jagrat, Sapna, Sushupti. We have to go through them. So to go through them in a way that doesn't get us stuck inside the experience. The experiences are going to happen. We put a boundary around the experiences, because if we don't do that, then that's going to be, we'll be lost. But in that state, prajahati yada kaman sarvan, that every single desire is no longer going outward. It has become absolutely steady inside. And in that steady state, activity is performed. It is not that activity is not performed. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Manogatan means because the kamana, the ichhas of different kind, they come up and they enter into the mind, and then the person is running in that direction. Manogatan. Gatan means coming out of the mind. So prajahati yada kaman sarvan, the word sarvan means the entire conglomeration of desires. And what to do with them? Atmannev atmana tushtaha. The absolute self-satisfaction. It is, the Buddha with the Gnan Mudra sitting in nirvana. It's like that. Absolute steadiness, clarity. Whatever may be going on outside, there is this Atmanevatmana Tushta. Within Atmanevatmana means in the self, through the self, that the mind has become aligned with the Atma. Mind and Atma are bridged together. Atmanevatmana, Atmaneva Atmanaha. Tushta, Tushtaha. Tushta means one has reached a state of absolute and permanent satisfaction. Think about this. Absolute, permanent, and unchanging inner satisfaction. Is that possible? Yes, but that state is the one who is called Sthita Pragna Tada Uchyate. Bhagavan kehte, when you have all of this together, that is called a Sthita Pragna. That means the Pragna, the intelligence, becomes absolutely steady and fixed. Think about this. Now, in this state, all activity is performed with the family, with our friends, with our work, every kind of activity, keeping in mind the play of Prakriti around us. The play of Prakriti is going on. So we have to interact with it. And we're going to interact with it. But we interact with it while remaining in the Sthita Pragna state. We interact with it without damaging the Sthita Pragna state. We interact with it without anything on the outside penetrating on the inside to damage this Sthita Pragna state. This is why Bhagavan kehte hain, Raga Dvesha Viyuktaistu Vishayan Indriyesh Atma Veshera Vidayatma Prasadam Adhigachyate. Rag or Dvesh nikal jata hai isme. There's no rag or Dvesha towards anybody. Bilkul nahi. So many examples are there. All kinds of examples are there in life. We know on a daily basis, I'm sure most of us are keeping track of what's going on in the politics and news and this stuff that's happening in this U.S. today after the new election and all that, right? So there's always some new things are coming up. That's part of life. That's the way it has been. It'll keep changing and changing and changing. We have to be aware of it. We interact with it. We recognize it, that it is just a wave on the ocean. The 8.4 billion people who are present today, 8.4, that's the estimated number. Who knows exactly? Nobody knows exactly how many people there are. 120 years from now, not a single one of them will be here, which is not a whole lot of time. Who's going to be here? Hamara bhi jivan kitna hai? It's a bubble only. The whole population will be a new population. And every day people are coming and going, coming and going. It is a bubble only. This is Vairagya. But does it mean we don't interact? Of course we interact. We interact as needed within the boundary we have set. How much interaction, what is the quality of interaction, all those things. And then in that interaction, to be sure, to be very awakened, not to damage the Sthita Pragna state and not to damage the world outside. If we damage our Sthita Pragna state, we will wind up damaging other people's lives also. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. That's why, Bhagwan why Sri Krishna has said this. He has spoken this, and why this is what an answer this is to the question. And who is he telling? At that time, he's telling Arjuna, doesn't want to fight the war and all that. See the confluence of activity that you have to get up and do this duty. We have so many duties to perform in life. Gita is not telling anybody to go sit inside a cave and meditate. That's ek alag baat hai. That's a different Ashtang Yog ki sab baat hai wo. That also has some purpose. And that path is also shown to some extent. But the actual teaching of the Gita is that you are living in the midst of the three gunas of Maya to perform all kinds of actions. But they are performed through the Sthita Pragna state. So we start with this. What is the sadhana for today? We read this verse, Gita Shlok 2.55. Bring it inside. Look at it. Look it up online. You'll find thousands of commentaries and pravachans and so much. Just put in the YouTube, Gita 2.55. बहुत मिलेगा. Just put it in the Google. What about if you want like much more information than what Sachin is giving here? But remember, what is the sadhana for today? Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. This verse that is spoken, bring it inside. That's me. Sthita pragna tada uchyate. Sthita pragna tadochate. When you combine the words. That's me. I am that. This is what the Upanishad is saying. Aham brahmasmi. Aksharam aham. I am the Brahman. To get to that, I am the Brahman. Bring these verses inside. And then don't move away from that. इसको कहते हैं निष्ठा. इसको कहते हैं I mean, I want to say Atmanishta and all that, but I guess the words I'm looking for is where there's an intense belief, faith, and holding on to the words of enlightenment. These are words that directly cause enlightenment. If we want to be enlightened, bring this verse inside and then really churn it. Don't let it go. You know, when we do our sadhana, भगवान के साथ हम जो भक्ति करते, उनको प्रार्थना करते कि please bless me with this. You know, how many people go to Krishna temples throughout the world? So many. But millions of people go to Radha Krishna temples, right? Millions. Almost every Hindu temple usually has Murti of Radha and Krishna. But जब हम भगवान का दर्शन करने के लिए जाते हैं, take the Gita. You don't have to take the whole Gita. Print out this verse, put it on a card, 3x5 card. This is the sadhana, very simple sadhana. इस पर मनन चिंतन करना. Hold that verse in front of the Lord. Murti ke aage, hold this verse and say, and read it and ask him, hey Prabhu, ask Radhika ji, ask Sri Krishna Bhagwan, you bring this into this bhakta. Have you ever seen anybody do that in any Krishna temple? This is the thing to do. Try it. Bring it inside. It's not the quantity of just name repetition. That's fine. That's all good. Bhajan Kirtan, name repetition, Naam Jap, Navda Bhakti, everything is good. But don't forget that ye jo sthiti hai, sthita pragna ki jo sthiti hai, that is me. That is me by the grace of God. So we ask him, ask and you shall receive. What do we want? Darshan is what? When we say Bhagwan ka darshan karne ke liye jaate hain, this is what is meant by darshan. To take a verse, which is also Krishna, because it came from his lips. So Madhavani, Madharupam. Bhagwan ke mukh mein se jo bani nikli, wo Bhagwan hi hai. It's not anything different. The words spoken by Sri Krishna are Sri Krishna. They're not different from Sri Krishna. They're exactly the same. So when we bring this inside, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan Partha. Who is that Partha? That's me. We think of Arjun, we think of that Mahabharata series and all this stuff, that this is the stuff in our minds. Or we think of something in the past. It's not a question of something in the past. It's right here, right now. Right here, right now, and that's me. Sarvan Partha. That one word Sarvan, isme sab magic hai. That is Radhika ji. People say, where is Radhika ji mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita? Everywhere, without ever mentioning her name. In this word here, Sarvan, some Shakti of Radhika ji is in that word itself. Because that is Param Bhakti. If you can open this thing, like as I mentioned, we can just keep opening this thing. It'll just keep opening. But let me just close with this in just 30 seconds here. Manogatan. What is happening in the mind? All of this, every vritti, Prabhu, aapki hi vritti, aap aa jaiye. And you produce the vritti inside. How amazing. This is called मूर्ति प्रतिष्ठा. भगवान की प्रतिष्ठा अंतकरण में करनी. और क्या चाहिए जीवन में? And then from that, इसका अनुभव क्या है? It is swimming in amrutam. Think about that. Not just drinking a glass of amrutam, swimming inside amrutam. ऐसा जीवन बन जाता है. Because the amrutam keeps opening. It's constant. The joy that is opened is unending joy. Because how can I say this? The mental bondages have shattered, completely shattered. There is no mental bondage left. There is absolute, total satisfaction. Atmanevatmana tushtaha. And in that it is through the satisfaction, in the satisfaction, without damaging the satisfaction, the pragna, the entire brain, mind, body, everything is in alignment. And in that state, kriya is performed. Activity in the world, in the Jagrat, Swapna, Shushupti is performed. Now we can see the link between Bhagavad Gita 2.55 and the Mandukya Upanishad. And that link is inside of us. It's not a question of just linking some scriptures and talking giving some language to. That's okay. We need to do that. But it's not about just Sachin is speaking right now, spoke for like 20-25 minutes. That's fine. We need that. But that's not that's not the goal. The goal is to open the truth from inside. And then to each moment, each minute, each hour, each day, स्थित प्रज्ञ वो ही मैं हूं, वो स्थिति ही मेरी है. And then the last verse in the Gita, chapter 2, Esha Brahmi Sthiti Parthanai Prape Vimuyati Sthitva Samantakaalepi Brahma Nirvanam Ruchyati. That Brahmi Sthiti की प्राप्ति होती है इसमें से. Brahmi Sthiti, it's again, these are words, right? इसका अनुभव करना है, not just words. All right, let's stop now. Okay, so Om Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha, Shri Paramagurubhyo Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Shri Uma Maheshwara Swamine Namaha, Divalingaya Namaha, Urdhvalingaya Namaha, Anandalingaya Namaha, Dvadash Jyotir Lingaya Namo Namaha, Om Trambakam Jame Sugandim Pushtivardhanam, Urvarkamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshyamamritat, Om Aim Reem Kleem Chamundaye Vichye Swaha Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Mahasaraswati Rupena Samstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. Om Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu, Om Shri Durga Arpanamastu, Om Hrim Swaha.